Take two, Sonoma, the ARCS 111. And of course, it's Crotum dominating this race thus far. Right now, I believe we are 6 laps into our first stage of 9. Term V in second place, Twisted Navy third. Nicholas Pressey up in fourth. Your Daddy all day in fifth. Yep. 3 laps remain here in this first stage. Let's go ahead and cruise through some of the drivers here tonight. Our second place, Term V. The number 16 of J-Mad, one of the 6 drivers vying for the final spot. This is the second to last race before we go, or this is the last race of the race of 6. Next week, we will be at Eldora Dirt to crown our champion. Nicholas Pressey doing everything he can to get into that field. Your Daddy all day as well. Another top 4. Ooh, Twisted Navy gets a little bent out of shape. But joining me in the booth tonight, my good friend COT Tommy. How's it going, buddy?
It's going pretty good. I'm looking forward to a different race, something that's not a mile and a half or, an oval in general. We don't get to go to the road courses very often, especially in the trucks. So cool that we have a cutoff race here. One guy that I'm definitely interested in, and I'm glad to see he's doing well, is Nick Pressey. He's basically win or go home here. So, keep an eye on him to maybe do a desperation move here at the end of this race.
Yeah, it's definitely do or die for poor Nick after unfortunate circumstances had him miss the last race. So he is way behind in points. So he's got to do everything he can. But to no surprise to anyone and everyone, Crotum's leading the race.
Yeah, Crotum's one of the best road course racers, I would say, in the game, let alone in our league. I know there's a couple other guys who are really good out there too, but I mean, I put Crotum up against pretty much most guys I know. So the fact that he is leading here, not a shocker to me.
Ooh, gets a little bit of a track cutting penalty, but still able to maintain the lead. Those are lap trucks passing him now, but that is going to help Term V extend that gap he has. But by my ticker on our streamer, he's got a 16-second lead over Term V already.
That's unbelievable because, Term is no slouch on the road course either. He can put down some really good times. Oh man, we got a wreck here. 78 is off course. Shout out to our buddy Quiet 1999-47, who is back in the truck series after a long break. I think he was out without an Xbox and finally found the quarters in his couch to get the Xbox Live for a month. So welcome back to Quiet.
Welcome back, Quiet. What do you think he was doing? Eating ice cream in that truck? He went way off track.
Probably. I mean, put it through Quiet. You put it up to Quiet, nobody knows. But we got a caution out. Is this the end of the stage? I'm not really sure.
I believe that was the end of the stage. It's Crotum. Either that or these trucks are just driving unbearably slow right now. Oh, it was indeed the end of the stage. So stage 1's complete, Tommy. 9 laps down. 9 more, and then we're going to try and complete 111 miles here, and this is just going to be tough. And as they go into turn 1, I know this is probably one of the sketchiest parts of this entire racetrack, Tommy. It always freaks me out going into turn 1 here.
Oh yeah, I mean, any road course where you're not familiar with, and then you have a change in elevation there, first corner. It's definitely a tough track, and then you got a bunch of other guys on the track to compete with. This is not an easy road course. This is not like Watkins Glen. This is a very tough road course, and you know, guy that we talked about before, Nick Pressey, looking good in second place right now.
As they come barreling down, what's right along with our second place of the first stage, having a little bit of trouble right now as the pack looks seem to be getting it together, but ooh, Term gets hit with a track cutting penalty, so that's going to be huge on him. But wow, look at the pack drive we've got going into the S's.
Erm is still stopped there. I don't know what's going on. Maybe he has a problem with his controller or something, or I'm sorry, his wheel or something like that. But very rough start for Term, because he may go a lap down as he gets it refired, and now he's going back. He should maintain on the lead lap, but definitely one of our front runners in stage one, and having some issues here at the beginning of stage two.
I believe, actually, I think he went and turned off his stream. I know he was having some lag problems, so he probably turned his stream. Luckily enough, I've got 2 guys lap counting tonight because I was prepared for that. So thank you, Little Gorgon and Term V, for both streaming. Term had to turn his off. So, ooh, looks like poor boy 52 gets into a bit of a wreck and a track cutting penalty.
Yeah, poor boy. One of our regulars in the Xfinity side, going for a championship, I believe, next in 2 weeks on the Xfinity side, and not really having a good go here on the road course. But you know, this either way, this is great practice for the Xfinity guys to kind of get the track down, and even though it's completely different truck versus Xfinity car, it's always good to get some seat time.
Oh yeah, seat time indeed is definitely important on road courses. I'm a road course guy. I'm honestly considered one of your guys' road course ringers on iRacing, but yet I'm still kind of nervous about how these cups cars and these trucks handle on the road courses. But seat time and practice is the most important on road courses, because there's, you know, yeah, people say, oh, it's rhythm and everything else. I was like, no, it's more of just knowing what's there and what's not there. I mean, there's so much seat time that you got to put into the, you know, road courses to be competitive and fast. And it's Crotum showing, you know, his muscle here, Tommy, that he does do a lot of road course racing on this game. So he's definitely showing why he does it, and now he's just dominating.
Yeah, Crotum has put in a lot of time and effort. I mean, he doesn't, you know, just get lucky and win these races, or, you know, or dominate. He's put in a lot of effort into these road courses, and you know, I've worked with him on some of the road courses back when we were in the tournament, and he helped us out a lot as a team, and you know, a lot of laps logged at, you know, Watkins Glen, Sonoma, Mid-Ohio. So he's definitely put in the work. But a guy that I'm seeing in his mirror who's not going away, Twisted Navy in the 94 car. Not necessarily known to be one of the best road course racers. I mean, he's not. I wouldn't say he was a bad road course racer, but I am a little bit surprised to see him running with Crotum here. I didn't think anybody would be within half a lap of Crotum.
I was actually just going to bring that up, that I was riding a log with a special guest in the truck series, Twisted Navy. One of the tier 1 drivers you race with on a weekly basis is up here trying to track down Crotum, and I'm watching Twisted. I am very impressed with his line and execution coming in and out of the corners and going through the S's. Now this first, for those of you who are unfamiliar with Sonoma, the first sector of this racetrack is the most important because of, like Tommy, you mentioned earlier, the elevation changes. You've got to break up a hill, and then you're going to hit a small little left-hander, and then you're going to break up another hill, and then you're going to break going down a hill, and it's so difficult and so hard to hit your marks, and you can either gain or lose all the time in the world in just that first sector.
Yeah, it's a tough track. We got Croydon going off track here a little bit. We'll see if the 94 truck will be able to capitalize on that. But, Twisted, a guy who is normally doesn't run in the truck series, but, he may just be looking to get some seat time like we talked about earlier. We have the Xfinity race coming up here on Friday. We have A Squared on Sunday, and then on our iRacing side for Monday Night Lightning, we have Sonoma there as well. So a lot of Sonoma this week. A lot of guys you don't normally see in these divisions making appearances, and they're just putting in that seat time, trying to get a little bit better.
Yes, absolutely. And an unprecedented 19 trucks are on the racetrack right now, which is huge for a road course. Honestly, it's just huge in general to have that many guys and a road course, no less. A lot of times we would expect it at Daytona, Talladega, Charlotte, we had a decent amount, but to see 19 trucks on a road course is just awesome. It just shows the commitment that we here at ARCS have to making these races and all these different leagues that we run successful, Tommy. This is awesome.
Most definitely. I mean, these guys are committed to the series. It's great to see such commitment from our Tier 3 drivers who, they don't really need to. They could be doing something else with their time, but they love ARCS. They love racing with these guys, and they're putting on a good show here because 19 guys, and we don't have a caution yet. 19 guys and girls, and we haven't had a caution yet. So they're doing a really good job here. Especially Croydon here, just pulling away from everybody.
Absolutely. As I'm scrolling through the field to give everybody some ample TV time and to give the fans just a little bit of view of how some of these trucks drive around the racetrack. And we do have a few battles for position going on. Deplorable Me looks like he's trying to hunt down the 26 of Glixen. Deplorable Me, a very good road course racer, my teammate in our Team ARCS Endurance on iRacing. We've ran a lot of road course stuff together. Doing good at this race. I'm in qualifying and testing. I was real impressed with how much, you said, and girl, our K Rexon, our own Kinsey, has done so much to improve. And you can just see it as she's going through the motions and some of the hardest parts of this racetrack, just hitting it almost flawlessly, Tommy. It was just amazing to see the improvement we've seen out of a lot of these Tier 3 drivers since the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, with each race, these guys and girls get more comfortable in these trucks. Something to kind of go back on about Deplorable. When we first started ARCS, Deplorable was one of our original founding members, and he wasn't really a good road course racer. He was pretty average. I mean, he was probably better than me, but I am definitely not average in road course racing. But he put in a lot of time, a lot of effort, and he's become one of the better road course racers in our league here. And it's really good to see. Another guy that is a good road course racer that surprised a lot of people is Tristrand, the 48, just ahead of the 44 Deplorable. He, I believe he finished second at our first road course at our first ever road course at TNT. And only lost it because of a penalty on the last lap. So definitely look out for him as I kind of cursed him and he got a course cutting penalty. But definitely look out for him to be pretty strong here. Odom just continues to open up that lead. I mean, now you can't even see. He's got at least a 12-second lead on the person behind him, who I believe is still Twisted. Term is moving again. He's hitting pit road now. So whatever it was that plagued him on that first lap, he's got that issue rectified, and he's he may not be competitive here in stage 2, but he'll be around for stage 3 to make some noise and compete there, hopefully for the win. We got a lot of other good guys. Nick Pressey still on pace to have a good finish here. He just overtook Twisted for second place, and now Twisted kind of gives him a little bit of a slide job on dirt. So
watching the battle of the 94s. Wow, I just pulled it up. The two 94s are battling it. Normally Nick Pressey runs the 94. Twisted decided to jump in and drive in that beautiful Sunoco 94. Ooh, as poor Kinsey just gets out of the way. Cautions unfortunately are off, so that will not be a caution. But look at those two race. What awesome racing that these two are giving us, as I believe we've got only 2 more to go.
Oh, the crossover. What? Oh, 94 puts the 94 in the wall. Oh, Twisted's not going to be happy with that. But you know what? Nick, he's going for it, man. This is his only shot. He's talked about it. He needs to win or go home, and he's expressed to me that this is probably one of his worst racetracks. So to see him running as well as he is, it's going to be very hard to catch Crotum. But that bumper gets pretty used up on the last stage when you're looking for a win at Sonoma, especially in that the final turn, the hairpin there. So anything could happen. Nick needs to make something happen. So hopefully we'll be in for a treat here as stage 2 comes to an end.
Yeah, these two are definitely battling it out. And like you just said, this is the last race to get into that final 4. He's outside looking in. It's not time to make friends. It's time to make moves. And not saying that what he did was right, but he needed to do it, and it is exactly what he did. But Twisted looks like he's just got the little bit better of an edge in that final sector. But we'll see as they come to the hairpin, because I believe this next lap is the white flag lap. Let's head. Actually, I don't want to scroll away from that. I want to see where our leader is, but I do not want to pull away from these two. It's giving us the best action we've seen on track all night.
Oh, Twisted went around.
Oh, Twisted did go around, and that is going to cost him dearly.
Not sure if there was contact there or if maybe Nick Pressey was just putting the pressure on and just kind of got that other 94 car a little bit squirrely there coming off the corner. But either way, I mean, good run for Nick. He's got himself in that position now to make something happen here.
Absolutely, but now Twisted is on a mission to try and hunt him down. But can Nick finally break his curse on not being his own worst enemy on the racetrack? Nick, oh, there it went. Oh, both of them slide into the...
Spoke too soon.
Yeah, both of them slide into the sand, but... Nick, very talented driver, cannot give him enough credit, but he indeed is his own worst enemy when it comes to driving these things. But man, was able to save it as these two go in to the second hairpin and into the S's. This should be the final lap of stage 2.
So I'm not sure exactly what the point situation looks like, but that could be a big pass right there. If Nick Pressey is down by a point here coming towards at the end of this race, it could be because of this stage point that he's going to relinquish here to the 94 of Twisted.
Race to the line. Nick doesn't get the runoff he needed. It looks like Twisted is going to take second place.
You hope Nick learned a little bit there. I know we're kind of focusing on these two guys, but you hope Nick learned a little bit there because he took that right-hander there very slow, and Twisted was able to kind of dive bomb it and break enough to keep Nick behind him. So hopefully Nick, for his own sake, realizes he could drive that in a little bit harder, especially on like the last lap or two, when you're not saving anything. So we'll see here. But once again, Crotum, stage two winner, shocker.
And you know what? Let's give a huge shout out to our buddy Quiet, who finished 11th out of 19 in that stage. That's impressive for him.
That's a big improvement for Quiet. You know, just the fact that he finished the stage on the lead lap is impressive. But, you know, he hasn't really had, like I said, he hasn't had much practice. He's just kind of coming in here cold turkey. I don't think he's fired up his Xbox in at least a month and a half. And that truck looks destroyed, but, you know, he's in 11th place.
Another developing story. So Nick is trying to vie for one of those top 4 spots. 2 out of the 4 drivers that made the race that are fighting for that 6 finished 9th and 10th, and he finished 3rd. So he's going to get the stage points. So hopefully that's going to be enough to try and get him around. Unfortunately, I did not get the points pulled up before we got started. But Nick, starting 2nd, it's Crotum, leads the crew into the first turn. Oh, Nick gets a little sideways, unfortunately, but it's Crotum. And look, boss man, ARCS3 12, Ryan Pinnell up in 2nd right now.
Just pulling up the points real quick. Nick is 6th in points. Glickson is 5th, and J-Mad is 4th. Nick is 30 points behind J-Mad, so yeah, he's going to need to win here, I believe. I don't know exactly where J-Mad finished there, but, you know, unless he dominated stage 1 and 2, I don't foresee him making up 30 points this race. But, you know, crazier things have happened, so we'll stay tuned and see what he can do here.
Yeah, but right now, it's Crotum continues to dominate and rock. Let's ride along with Term V, who is our lucky dog last stage.
Term V looks like he's on a mission right now.
Whoa,
oh,
the 88 of poor, or the 98 of Poor Boy almost sends it to the moon. But Term's on a mission to get around everybody as they are barreling through the S's.
Oh yeah, he's moving. He's taking no prisoners. He's got a fast truck. He's trying to get back up to the front. Unfortunate for him how things went there at the beginning of stage 2, but he's still in it. So if he gets a caution a little bit later on in the run after making up some positions, he can challenge that 18 truck.
Definitely can, and I believe we should see green flag pit stops because we have 21 laps remaining. So this is the big one. 2 very short stages of 9 laps, and now 22 laps of pure intensity.
Oh, twisted around, sideways on the track.
Oh,
that is probably going to bring out a caution.
Yep, hit 2-3 trucks. Tristrand moves his way up to 2nd. Oh, Nick trying to bump the boss man off as Tristrand goes way wide into the sand.
I think Tristrand may have been the guy who T-boned the 94 truck as it was sitting sideways on the track. I'd be shocked if they don't back it down at the line. But, you know, we'll see here. We're not in, we don't have the game chat, the voice chat with us. So one guy who does not want to see the caution come out is that 18 truck of Crotum, who has, once again, a commanding lead.
Very commanding lead. I'm sticking with this main pack. You've got 7, almost 8 trucks battling for 4th and 5th, I believe. And this is just, man, I cannot wait for them to finally give us a lap ticker the next game. I really hope that they do.
It doesn't look like Crotum is backing it down, so it looks like we stay green here. Yeah, he's still on it coming out of the S's, so, you know, I'm shocked we didn't get a caution there, but, you know, maybe something about this game is, you know, you see things on your screen that don't happen on other people's screens, so that could be the case. Also, you know, both cars kept going, so as long as they don't have significant damage, it shouldn't bring out a caution.
Yep, they're full throttle in the first sector. And look at this swarm. Oh, 3 wide in there, and a few cars, or a few trucks dip into the sand, riding along with the 22 of Your Daddy all day. And the 94's back in action of Twisted Navy. So, looked like he was probably okay, and they decided to keep it going and keep it green. So, probably an interesting call from race control, Tommy. You know, this is a long race. If it's an avoidable not to call the caution, it's always best. So.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's a reason why they didn't call the caution. We stayed green here. One of the guys that kind of got the short end of the stick on that last lap was the 88 term, who I was watching. It looked like they went 3 wide there coming out of the corner, and he just got forced out, and it really killed his momentum. Once you get on that dirt, I mean, it really bogs you down. It takes you a while to get that momentum back up.
Speaking of fun racing, I love watching these two race each other side by side at road courses. And I'm bringing back to Deplorable Me and Ryan Pinnell, two extremely close friends. But man, when they race next to each other on road courses, it is fist fight central, even if it's lap 2 and they're next to each other. I always just find it fun. But Ryan Pinnell gets into the sand a little bit, and DP is going to just say, see you later.
DP gets into the sand a little bit too, so DP doing everything he can to keep Ryan in it. But yeah, these guys are like brothers. They fight and love each other just like brothers. So good to see. It's fun to watch whenever they're on the track together. They're always super competitive. They want to beat the heck out of the other guy, but they always put on a good show.
So let's scroll back up to our race leader. The number 18 Toyota just kicking butt.
A couple notes. The 51 of Pooh Bear is out of this race, as well as our only female driver in Kay Rexon and Poor Boy. So, as well as the 68 of Muffin. So, you know, we got a bunch of guys that have fallen out of this race. Might be server issues, maybe issues on their particular end, just coincidence, but should be easier to come through that pack if we get a late race caution.
Absolutely, and judging by my lap counter here of Little Gorgod, as Crotum enters the carousel, his next car behind him is in turn 1. I mean, he is just, he's got a whole sector on everybody. He is just dominating this race.
Yeah, he hasn't really put a wheel wrong all race. He's hitting his marks. His truck is definitely one of the cleanest ones out there. I don't see a scratch on it. Having a real smart race. Just kind of what we expected from Crotum. You know, it's kind of funny. We go back a year ago to when Crotum started running with us, and very early into our ARCS careers for all of us. But Crotum was fast everywhere. He had speed, but he could never put a race together. It took him a while to get his first win, but you know, this season he's been unbelievable and turned that speed into consistency, or paired that speed with consistency, and now you're seeing him just absolutely dominate races. It's really good to see that all of his time and effort that he's putting into this is really paying off.
Absolutely, he has just completely decimated the truck ranks. And honestly, the truck ranks isn't easy. There is a lot of talent. I mean, the truck races set the bar every week for the Tier 2 and Tier 3 drivers, because they come out and they put on a show. And for those who are interested in racing with ARCS, visit racearcs.com, get all the info, fill out the application, we'll get you into the Discord. We will get you started as soon as possible. A new season's about ready to get started here in trucks, so opportunities to move up happen quite a bit around here, Tommy. So it's not like you're stuck in one place here. You know, we we got a system that can fast track good drivers up the race.
Oh yeah, if you're consistent and you show up, you have great attendance and you're fast, you will move up very fast. And also, we have other stuff going on too. We have iRacing, we have IndyCar coming up, modifieds on iRacing. We have, we've done some one-off events with different leagues. So like head-to-head tournaments and things of that nature. So just because you join ARCS doesn't mean you're just going to be running one series and one night a week. We can probably fit you in for multiple series, especially on the iRacing side. And we're always looking to grow members. So if you're interested, definitely check out the website.
Once again, website is racearcs.com. Check us out. Come race with us. We do everything under the sun, basically. Oh, Nick, riding along with Nick Pressey as he's trying to do everything he can to fight for position. Poor Nick, I know, just wants to make a good showing here. Probably going to miss that top 6, but championship is going to come really close. We're going to Eldora. Ryan threw the curveball at these poor boys and girls that our championship race will be held on dirt, Tommy.
I think that was a little not selfish, but definitely Ryan's a very good, probably one of the best dirt drivers on NASCAR Heat 5 in our friends group. So our league here. So I think that was a little bit. He did that and was thinking about himself too. Maybe not thinking about himself, but licking his chops as he did it. So he's definitely going to be one to watch next week. But all these guys are gonna be out of their element, and it's gonna be anybody's game. And can't wait to watch it because, like you said, these truck drivers, they put on a show each and every week, and it's really awesome to see.
I mean, if you just look at the schedule had really tested the guys this season. In the final 6, the 3 races for the round of 6, 2 road courses in Charlotte. So, in a way, we follow. We try to follow the real schedule, but sometimes we make some alterations. But it fell perfectly because Ryan really wanted to see what these truck drivers had, and they have they have just blown everybody's expectations out of the water the past 10 races.
Yeah, definitely these road courses have definitely tested their abilities as drivers, and the best 4 are going to make it to the finals, no doubt about it. I have no reservations about that. So we'll see what happens.
Good action still going on. We're on lap 32 of 46. But clock's winding down. But once again, it's Crotum has just decimated everybody here tonight. As we start seeing some guys start going down pit road for their pit stops. So it'll be interesting to see how how am I going to say how pit strategy is going to work, whether is fuel going to be a problem, is tires going to be a problem. We saw Ryan last race at Indianapolis come from the 12th position to finish 3rd just because of fuel mileage. So be interesting to see towards the closing end, and unfortunately we cannot give our fans play-by-play because most of the time we don't know who's in 2nd or 3rd.
Like these pit stops at a road course are completely different than anywhere else we go. If you were tuned into your broadcast at Charlotte last week on Sunday, you'll notice that Lurkin kind of stayed out an extra 2 laps, and when he did that, he lost about 5 or 6 seconds on the leader, and with that, he went in 2nd place and came out maybe in 5th or 6th, and then you got to negotiate through traffic. At a road course, it's completely different because the first thing your truck actually gets faster as the run goes on. You would think the tires wear, you would lose time, but really, as you burn off fuel, your truck and car becomes lighter, and you actually run faster laps at the end of your stint. So, completely different than other races. I think the strategy here is to run it as far as you can, put down some hot laps, obviously stay on the track, and hit pit road with as little fuel left as possible, and then fill it up with only the amount of fuel that'll get you to the finish line. So, it's completely different and very interesting from a strategic standpoint. Unfortunately, I think Crodom doesn't have to worry about that. Well, fortunately for him, unfortunately for the rest of the field, he could pretty much get a speeding penalty and still be ahead by a football field. So, good job to him. But we'll see how these positions shake out. Anything could happen.
Yeah, I mean, he's so far ahead, he can get a speeding penalty, get out of the car, go get a corn dog, come back, and probably still be ways ahead. But we've watched him for about a lap and a half now. You can just see how smooth that truck is entering the carousel, heading down into the first hairpin. And he is just on his marks. He's not braking hard. I mean, he's definitely saving his stuff and keeping everything tight. Just like you said at a road course, as the run goes on, the car gets better and better, but you got to take care at the same time. You got to hit your braking points. You got to try not to overdrive the corners. And he is doing just that. As I say, he kind of gets the sand a little bit, but he is on a mission.
Just to put in perspective how fast Croton's been running here, he just lapped Twisted, who was our second place, our runner-up in stage 2. I don't know exactly where he finished in stage 1, but a runner-up in stage 2, and now he's a lap down. I don't really know what his pit strategy is, but you could see how much the 18 truck has distanced himself from the 94 in a short period of time.
I also do believe the 94 did go in for an unscheduled pit stop, I believe.
That makes sense.
So that may have caused it, but look at our little Gorgon stream. The nearest car next to him is, forever away. Almost an entire sector. So, this track's broken up into basically 4 parts. So you take a 2 mile or 2.5 mile racetrack and cut it into fourths. And this guy's got an entire section all to himself, and it's just amazing.
Yeah, there's no pressure on him right now, but we got some battles heating up through the field. Obviously, we're keeping an eye on Nick, seeing what he could do. Boiled Ice, another guy we haven't really talked about much, having a good run here. That car is about as clean as Crotom's right now, so that's a win in itself. We got Glixen here, who's running for that 4th and final spot. The only guy that's locked in is Crotom, so we got Crotom locked in. Boiled Ice in 2nd. He is pretty solidly in with, about a 52-point cushion on 5th place. Your Daddy All Day, who's also having a pretty good run here. He is, I would say, 38 points to the good. And J-Mad, which is about 23 points to the good. So we got, some storyline shaping him. Oh, as the 22 gets wrecked by the 78, that's going to be terrible for the 22's playoff chances right there. That was really unfortunate for him.
Oh no, poor Your Daddy All Day, but looks like he's got the truck up and going. Luckily enough, he's in his window, so he could stop in and get the damage fixed and get the truck up and moving and not really lose too much, and probably should be able to make it back up. But it'd be interesting to see what he does. He decides to stay out and keep rocking it as long as possible. So unfortunate turn of events for him, but I'm going to go ahead and move up to the battle for 9th and 8th. And that's the Formal Me and Tri-Strand, 2 Tier 1 Cup drivers duking it out.
Tri-Strand in that very familiar Allied livery with the 48 on the side. Can't miss him. He's run that car in pretty much every race I've ever seen him in. But yeah, I mean, like I said, good road course racer. We got another car up there. Can't get the name. Who's pushing for it too? Lil Gorgon, right behind him, putting the pressure on the 48, trying to make him make a mistake. But so far, 48 prevails.
Yep, right now, I believe it's 10 laps remaining. And you have an awesome battle for 8th, 9th, and 10. And it is just shaping up to be a good finish overall for everybody. I think, you know, when some people talk about, you know, oh man, I finished like 2 laps down, I finished 3 laps down on these road courses. I always tell people, I was like, if you survived and you were ahead of somebody else, that's a win. You know, it's so hard to woo as Crotum gets a little squirrely into the carousel. It's hard to be consistent at these tracks when you don't run them enough. And speaking of, little Gorgon in the way, and actually that battle for 8th and 9th, here comes our race leader trying to get around this lap traffic, and this just shows how awesome of a race Crotum is having. Like I said, we've got 2 tier 1 drivers who are good at road courses, and they're about ready to get lapped.
Yep. That was a little scary moment there for Crotum. I mean, that 19 truck got loose and kind of swerved right across his nose, but fortunate for him, he was able to miss that wreck. But yeah, I mean, as you were talking about Crotum and Tri-Strand, Deplorable and Tri-Strand, I was watching this 18 truck, and he was just moving his way up quickly. But the one thing that Crotum has to do, and he's done a great job of it so far, is, you know, be patient with his lap traffic, because you don't gain much by putting these guys a lap down, but you can lose so much by, you know, getting into a car, causing yourself a spin, or even, you know, if he gets into somebody and they spin and then they collect the car behind him, and then he's, you know, he brings out a caution, which is definitely something he does not want to see. So, you know, if I was Crotum, I'd be super patient here. Don't push the issue. Wait for these guys to make a mistake, and then just capitalize.
Yeah, that's kind of my mentality. I'm an endurance racer, as you know, Tommy. I love my sports car stuff. And the name of the game is, if you're fast coming up on a lap car, 9 times out of 10, you usually just follow him for a lap or 2, waiting for him just to get out of the way. And you don't push the issue. You don't try to, you know, you got to take care of your stuff on these road courses. That's the most important thing, because the slightest mistake could really cost you. And it's Crotum is not letting up one bit. He is trying to get his way around anybody and everybody. So from a road course standpoint, you know, I know he went, as he gets doored right there. That was exactly what I'm talking about. You know, as a road course guy, and it looks like it's Crotum's going to head down
Smart
the pits.
move by Crotum.
But, you know, what I was saying before is, when you start coming up on that lap traffic and you've got a decent lead, and you know you've got a decent lead, and you know you've got the speed, 9 times out of 10, it is a whole lot better and more beneficial for you just to slow up and follow until there's an ample opportunity to get around them and move. But it's Crotum, you know, just likes to be fast, just wants to be fast, and he almost made a very detrimental mistake there, Tommy.
Yeah, you know, I don't think he anticipated Deplorable in the 44 to race him that hard, but everybody knows Deplorable. I mean, very clean driver, but he does not like to be passed, and he does not like to be lapped. So he put up a huge fight there. I don't think the 18 was really anticipating that. And, you know, it almost cost the 18 big time.
Absolutely. Riding along with the 94 of Nicholas Pressey. I know he has fallen back some spots, unfortunately. But the race is on. I believe we are at 7 or 8 laps remaining.
You know, we talked about Nick Pressey a bit this whole race. You know, he's one of the guys who's very hard on himself. He critiques his driving a lot. He's made big improvements since being in ARCS. But this is the race that he's going to come out, and knowing Nick, he's going to be very upset he didn't get the win. But really, he's got to hold his head up high because this is one of his worst tracks, self-admittedly, and he ran up there. He ran pretty good. I know he won't have the finish. It doesn't look like he'll have the finish that he wanted, but finishing third in stage 2, and I know he was up there in stage 1. Kudos to him. Shout out, Nick. Good job. Keep it up, buddy.
Yep, definitely. I was talking to him earlier this week saying, unfortunately he's not going to make the 4 to move up to Xfinity. But I did mention, honestly, the rest of the field is going to have to step their game up. Because there's been 6-7 trucks all season long who have just came out and threw down the gauntlet, and fortunately 4 of those trucks get to move up into Xfinity. They're going to be able to flex their muscle and show them what's up. Boiled Ice being one of them did very well at the All-Star race, along with Haha Boog. Nick Presley did amazing at the All-Star race, and definitely flexed his muscle with the Cup guys. So next season's going to be interesting. I can't wait to see some of the newcomers and some of the new talent that we're going to have in. The 26 of Glixen has really shocked the world, coming in late in the season and finishing in that top 4.
Yeah, Glixen has been one of the real surprises here. I don't know if he's in the top 4 right now. He's very close. It's going to come down to the wire here. But with that being said, impressive, season for him in a shortened season. He didn't have the sponsorship to run the whole season, so fortunately we got him a ride, and he's really shown up. He's won at least 1 race, maybe 2.
I believe it's 2 races so far.
Yeah, I think you're right, and really put on a great show for all the viewers at home. So I'm excited to have him in either the Xfinity or the Truck Series next year, wherever the chips fall. And like we said before, this Tier 3 division is stout. We're gonna have guys move up, and we're gonna replace them with more guys who hopefully have the same ability as the people who are moving up. So should be a fun season next season too.
Absolutely. I talk to Ryan almost daily about the trucks, and I'm kind of the ambassador for these guys, and I always try to hype them up every week. And some of the most for a lot of the guys are new members, and some of the energy that these guys put out and the racing that they do, it's amazing. As the Twisted Navy gets real badly into the wall, that is gonna hurt his race exponentially.
That's a tough. I was just about to say that's a tough spot there, because that's a blind corner. You're coming around there, you don't see the 94 car until it's too late. But thankfully for whoever drove through him, he was ghosted, and we stayed green here.
Yeah, I believe that was Boiled Ice that just barely skimmed it. But yeah, like I was saying, the energy that these guys put out is just amazing, and the performances and the willingness to learn. We haven't seen a lot of bad apples yet with these guys, and I encourage anybody and everybody that wants to have fun in a league racing and be a part of an awesome championship series to come and join us here at ARCS. I've only been here for about 6 or 7 months, and I've already got a family of 118 members, so it's an amazing feeling. Tommy, you guys have built something very special here.
Yeah, we appreciate that. We try to do our best. We're by no means perfect, but our main goal is to have fun and be competitive, and put on a good community for everybody to enjoy. And I appreciate those words, because that's what it's all about. It's not about how many wins you got. None of us are going into the NASCAR Cup Series. We're all just guys and girls at home playing video games, but we have a good time, and that's what it's all about.
That is one of the most important things about this series that I always try to emphasize on everybody is we like to be competitive, but we never sacrifice the fun. 5 laps remaining. Let's head up to our race leader to catch up on where he is at. Right along
An update on our buddy Quiet. He kind of got into it with the 48 and destroyed his truck even further. Rough night, rough return for Quiet, but still good to see him out there making laps.
Absolutely. And talk about a driver who's shown immense improvement is to our buddy Quiet, or if you've watched any of our iRacing stuff, it was, Patrick Allen 5.
To think that there's 4 other Patrick Allens is scary.
It scares the daylights out of me. But we make jokes about Quiet, about how sometimes he is awful in these trucks on NASCAR Heat. I have no problem racing next to him side by side now. So kudos to Quiet for making the improvements and becoming an amazing driver here. And that's what we're all about here. I say it again, that we help people hone their talents. And that's what we try to do and try to build them up. But I wish everybody can be like Crotum, because man, this truck is just fast.
Yeah, Crotum is a special talent, and he's obviously proven that tonight. I mean, there's nobody in the same zip code as him. He is checked out, and he's already locked into. He's going to have a ton of momentum going into Eldora next week.
Absolutely, and pretty much, I tell Ryan all the time, I was like, get this kid out of trucks, man. Get this kid out of trucks. Because he's fast. He's been invited to run, a few A2, a few TNT races, and, next season he should be full-time Xfinity, and I can't wait to see his career continue to progress.
So, Crotum's actually a Tier 1 driver. He wasn't available on Sundays at the beginning of the season, so he elected to run in the Truck Series. But Crotum is, a force in Thursday Night Thunder, and when he's available, he runs in select races in A2, and he's picked up wins there too. So, obviously a guy who could get it done in not only the Truck Series, but also the Xfinity Series, the Cup side. We'll see about Dirt next week. Not sure about that, but he's talented all around, and he's proven that. Running up against guys in TNT, running up against Marsh every week, and Lurkin and Deplorable, Richie C, and then A2 too with E-Dog and Boss, and Boss runs both. But Crotum has proved that he can run against the best that we have to offer. And
hey, don't count yourself out. You've had some impressive wins this season, so you're right up there with those boys.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I had a good week, but the guys like Marsh and Crotum are kind of in their own zip code right now, along with Lurkin. So, but we got a really good competitive group, and basically the gist of this ramble is, Crotum can run with the best of them, even when he's not in a truck. So, good. He will be moving up to at least Xfinity next season. I don't think he'll be doing truck. So we'll give someone else a chance to kind of run the Truck Series. But he still got another week next week to prove he's the champion. So we'll see how that goes.
Yep, I believe there is 2 laps remaining, Tommy. We are coming to a close here on this beautiful Northern California racetrack as its Crotum still continues to dominate. Just wow. Now he's actually coming up on Ryan to lap Ryan Pinnell. I believe Ryan is in the number 6 spot. So that just proves how 5 or 6, I believe, was the last time I checked on him. And this proves how fast its Crotum is. Look at his truck. It is scratch free. He can literally load that car or truck up in the trailer, and they can go take it to a car show next Sunday.
Yeah, and something that makes this even more impressive is the truck series runs, even though it's a 50%er, they are short stages, and the final stage is much shorter than a cup stage would be. So to be able to lap more than half the field, 3/4 of the field, is super impressive. But expect nothing less.
Definitely not expecting anything less out of the man made of steel and ice. I mean, he is just flawless in everything he does. We're going to kind of stroll around through the field as we continue to race on, just to show you some of the action. I love Sonoma. I know it's a tough track. It's an odd track. But it's such a fun track to be on. I don't know about being in a cup car or a truck, but I've ran a lot of races here in a sports car on Forza and on iRacing. So I mean, this is just this is a fun track. It's no Road America. It is kind of ugly, as Rick James would put it. It's not very easy on the eyes, but it is definitely an amazing racetrack.
Rick James has a way with words, but yeah, I think that obviously if you go from one game to another, whether it be console with iRacing or Xbox with Forza and the Heat series, the track definitely changes. The characteristics of the track, the graphics, the physics of the game make it different to race, but really it's the same. It's the same format, and once you get it down in one game, you'll have it down in all three. So definitely some tweaking that needs to be done when you go across platform or across game. But really, the competing in one game helps you throughout all of them, and that's why I think a lot of guys you see are iRacers in here, and they'll be ready for Monday.
Absolutely, I believe it's Crotum will come across the line with 1 to go. I'm actually going to bring up our race leader. Going to go around the beautiful track of Sonoma. Well, not so beautiful, but I think it's beautiful. Track of Sonoma one more time. Actually, he's looks really slow. I think actually the race is over. Yep, the race is over indeed. It's Crotum is our winner. Unfortunately, my lap counter was down more laps than I thought he was. So my apologies to the fans. You know how hard it is to try and keep track of these guys on road courses, Tommy. It's hard without a ticker or some kind of indication on what is going on for us on the broadcast team. But here in just a moment, fans, we will give you your top 5, and then I will bring in our podium finishers for their interviews. Man, they are still racing, ladies and gentlemen. Let me actually go through, because there's a lot of cars on track, and there's still 53 seconds remaining for these guys to try and finish their laps. Here comes Nick Pressey coming down the front stretch next to the beautiful drag strip of Sonoma for the last time. These guys are all piled up, so it looks like the race is over. It's Crotum, Boiled Ice, Deplorable Me, your top 3. Tristrand, or Nick Pressey finishes 4th. Tristrand rounds out your top 5. Term V, Glixen, Your Daddy All Day, ARCS RTP 12, and JMad219 round out your top 10, ladies and gentlemen. Give us just a few moments. We will be right back with our podium finishers. We are back live with our podium finishers. Finishing third tonight. We talked about you earlier tonight, DP, about how at one point in time you were not very good at road courses. Then you became a sports car fan. And now road courses are kind of your thing. So congratulations. Finished third, getting preparing for the rest of the week. We got, A squared at Sonoma. We got, Monday Night Lightning at Sonoma. So this was some good practice for you. It's probably ought to get you pretty confident.
Yeah, I don't think anybody had anything for Crotum. I got a penalty coming into pit road on that last stage, and so I had an 18-second stop. Was only able to take gas, so I had to kind of manage those tires a little bit. But man, that car got really fast on old tires. I was I was able to chase a bunch of those guys down. I think a couple more laps, I might have been able to get close to boiled ice. But yeah, nothing for Crotum tonight. That dude was in a league of all of his own. Good race to everybody.
Absolutely, Crotum completely decimated this field. Not just with his talent, but he was just clean all race long. But an awesome story actually developed here tonight. Boiled Ice is standing by with COT Tommy.
Boiled, congrats on the second place finish, man. I believe unofficially you were probably locked into the playoffs. So why don't you tell me about your day and how you feel going into next week at Eldora?
It started off pretty rough. I qualified 12th. Didn't think I was going to have very much for the field at all. I thought that this was just going to be a really long race. Somehow, somewhere, I think it was more or less a bunch of luck, made it through the field, and somehow ended up in second. It was really just a day of perseverance and just making sure not to get damaged and holding on to it. And that does put us into the Final Four, which I am really excited for. It's going to be a fun day at Eldora. Got what we needed done, and now it's time to go get a championship.
Yes, you did. Yeah, you did. Definitely did a great job there, keeping your nose clean. A lot of guys had issues, whether it be going off track and getting into other cars, getting damaged or whatnot. And you avoided that, and congrats on that, and good luck going into Eldora.
All right, thank you.
Take it away, SK.
All right, here with somebody that everybody is familiar with. Crotum, once again, we catch you here at the winner's circle. Right now, I think you're probably have the most wins of anybody here in the Alliance Racing Championship Series this season. But, man, you put out a great display. And as a fellow road course racer myself, you were almost flawless the entire race. How does it feel?
I knew going in, I'd say I'm pretty decent at road courses. So I felt confident going in and kind of just ran my own race and tried not to get in too much trouble early on those restarts and initial start, because if you get damaged on those initial starts, the restarts, it can really set you back. Like some people had that happen to them, and I was just trying to avoid that. Luckily, was able to pull out to like a second lead on the first lap, and then kind of ran my own race and ran clean. There were little incidents between where I messed up a little bit going in. I don't know if you've ever ran Sonoma on E5, but there's this it's like a really iffy carousel turn that puts you on two wheels, and sometimes it just doesn't stick. Physics are not that great, so you got to be really careful going in. But other than that, it was a pretty good race, and I had fun, so I'm glad.
Absolutely, and you are leading the charge heading into Eldora Dirt. 3 other drivers are going to be doing everything they can to try and win a championship, so it'll be exciting to see what happens next here on Tuesday nights. Crotum, it's always been a pleasure having you in the booth with us, and get some practice in. Get ready, because of next Tuesday is going to be a fight under the lights in the mud at Eldora Speedway.
Should be fun.
Now, actually, in the booth, I just want to give it to Ryan for his final thoughts of the night. Ryan, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Man, what a truck season. It's almost done.
Yep.
Wow.
We're very close. One more race next week, and we'll have 4 drivers that will be eligible for the championship. And being Eldora, it's going to kind of be honestly, it's kind of a wild card. I mean, it's almost like a Talladega, but just because it's just such a different track. Obviously, I love racing dirt, so I'm excited. I'll, be battling, but I'll also give those championship guys plenty of room. Don't want to ruin their chance at a title. But it's going to be a lot of fun, and then we'll take a few weeks off, and then we'll fire up season two, right around the 1st of July. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to close out this first season and then start up season two. It's going to be a lot of fun.
It is definitely going to be a lot of fun. So make sure, folks at home, you continue to watch ARCS Racing Network Tuesdays and Sundays. You'll catch me live for our ARCS3 and A2. Then follow Rick James at TV1 on Thursdays for Thursday Night Thunder, the other Premier Cup League on our Xbox side here at the Alliance Racing Championship Series. And Monday Night Lightning, iRacing, the big boys, catch as well on Rick James TV1. And then back to ARCS Racing Network on Saturdays for our iRacing trucks. If you're interested in racing in ARCS or just want to be a fan, visit racearcs.com for all the latest news and information to get in our leagues. Once again, that is racearcs.com. Come join the fun where we are not only competitive, but we have a lot of laughs doing it. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for another wonderful night here at ARCS Racing Networks. SK is signing off along with COT Tavi and the rest of ARCS.